May I ask you to engage your imagination for just the next few moments? I want you to imagine a massive billboard stretching out across the sky. Maybe it's on the side of a mountain. And across that massive quarter-mile wide billboard are the three words, "This is it." And then after that last word, "This is it," that last word, "it," are 5 exclamation points. That's how I kind of think about a text message that I got some months ago early this year. Let me tell you about that for just a moment. Before we do that, though, let me ask this question. How can paper and ink, how can a radio broadcast, how can a feeble voice like mine really sum up and explain the goodness of God towards us? In reality, the likelihood seems impossible, but I'm going to endeavor to do my best. I'm going to share with you a short article that I wrote recently explaining how God led us to a brand new building for Bible Tracts Incorporated. Many people have been asking, how's it going with the new building? What's going on? And how did this even come about? Let me tell you. In the most shortened form, here is the story of how God brought Bible Tracts Incorporated the massive blessing of a brand new location in Odell, Illinois. Of course, you may know that the ministry of BTI began over 82 years ago. Think about that. 8 decades ago in Waterloo, Iowa. Through the providence and direction of God, Dr. Paul Levine was led to move the ministry to Bloomington, Illinois, where it has been so successfully used of God over 4 decades ago. God led in that move. Now, by God's good hand, BTI has flourished at its present location there in Bloomington, and we're so excited about the blessings that we can reminisce and recollect about what God has done. We're thankful, honestly. We're thankful for the thousands upon thousands of souls that have come to Christ due to this ministry's nationwide and, moreover, worldwide commitment to supplying Christian workers with the evangelistic tools they need across the globe. Millions upon millions upon millions of gospel tracts have begun their journey into the hands of lost people from our geographic position here in north central Illinois. Now, as recently, let's bring it up closer to the future. As recently as late last year, a discussion began among the leadership team here at BTI. All involved with the decision strongly believed that a new and more ample, a larger, more efficient location would go a long way in significantly enhancing the recent growth and shared vision for the future of this ministry. After seeking counsel and praying heavily, this was not something we did in a flippant manner, we had peace. I think I mentioned earlier in this week of broadcasts how gratifying it is to have peace, even over what seems to be a minor decision, such as beginning to seek. I'm not even talking about buying a new building or moving, just we had peace about beginning to seek a new and improved location for our ministry's offices and fulfillment center. We sought the Lord's will, and we're in no rush as we looked through hundreds of listings and even visited a few properties. Nothing, nada, zilch, zip. Nothing seemed to have God's stamp of approval, though. So we patiently continued to look. I'll be honest with you, I don't feel like anyone that was a part of this progress, a part of what we were doing, was in a rush to get ahead of God. We just wanted God's timing. And that brings us to March 2021. I, the director of Bible Tracts Incorporated, was on the West Coast. I was actually in California presenting the work of BTI, and so any looking that I was doing, any perusal of listings was all, of course, done via the internet. I was not going to any properties during that time frame. and Rachel. Now, Rachel is our operations manager's wife. Now, realize, so Austin Marriott, he's the operations manager, lead designer here at Bible Tracts Incorporated. He is such a stellar part of the team. He does a phenomenal job. And his wife, of course, my wife knew that we were praying about a possible move, and she saw a building with excellent potential for sale off of exit 209 along I-55. She talked to her husband, Austin Marriott, and he immediately looked for the actual listing online. Within minutes, he sent the link to me along with a simple text proclaiming what I just mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast. What did I say? This is it. And I actually went back. Imagine this. I went back in my text messages and I looked for that because it stuck in my brain. I told you about the billboard. It jumped out at me. This is it. And it had, I counted, no less than 5 exclamation points. He sent me the link and I opened it up for the first time. Somewhat prophetically, Austin was right. Within 6 weeks, we had negotiated the price and finalized the paperwork for this incredible building to become our new headquarters. To God be the glory. Now, again, I must say the power of the gospel, it's in the word and not the worker. Anything that's gone right with this whole thing, it's been God. Anything that's gone wrong, it's been me. We had the opportunity. We paid less than 60% of the original listed price and were eventually able to talk the sellers down tens of thousands of dollars. To God be the glory for allowing us to save a significant amount of money for the renovation process. And the BTI team, I'll tell you this bluntly, for those of you that support our ministry financially, we desire to be good stewards, to be great stewards of the funds that God allows our donors to entrust us with. We don't buy anything at the sticker price if we can help it. We actually get, when we do a print job, when we do really anything for our ministry, we get 3 distinct quotes from 3 different companies and we compare them. We're not just looking at price. We're looking at the time frame they can deliver on. We're looking at the trustworthiness. We're looking at the quality. We're not comparing apples and oranges. We compare everything. We look line by line and we figure out which one makes the most sense for God's people's money. Because when you give us money to print gospel tracts, we take that very seriously. And the place, the building that we print these gospel tracts in, we take that seriously too. And so we were able to pay less than 60% of what they originally wanted. The last few months have been a whirlwind of work in clearing the many items left behind by the previous owners, preparing for the renovation, and the actual construction work itself. Now, we're not done yet, but we can see the light at the end of the tunnel. And Lord willing, we will officially be moving in around the first of this coming year. I'd like to ask you to pray specifically if He'd allow us to do that. We covered your prayers, and we anticipate God doing even greater works than these. This move, let me be very blunt about this. I'd like to explain something. Now, thankfully, we've had very little even questions in this way, but I'm sure a wise donor, a wise investor in our ministry would ask this question. How is this going to hurt the ministry? How has it hurt the ministry over the last few days, weeks, and months? Is this going to slow anything down? Well, to God be the glory, this move, our belief, our strong piece is this, that it will in no way diminish the work of BTI. In actuality, the fact that this new property contains over 2 times the square footage, and when we're finished, it's going to be a little over 2 times, well over 3 times the land area, and much more usable office and storage space will significantly enhance the work of this ministry that you so sacrificially invest in through your giving. And instead of hindering our God-given responsibility, we believe the best days of BTI are ahead. Now, I'm going to ask you, would you listen on for just a few more moments? Because I've got to tell you, we are excited to invite you. Saturday, November 13th, from 1 to 5 p.m. Central Time. If you're anywhere near the area, we want to see you. You say, hold up a second, I'm listening to this radio broadcast in podcast form, or I'm listening because due to a share-a-thon or something, maybe this broadcast got pushed back and it's now recorded. I'm listening after the fact. Well, you could rejoice in the fact that we had an open house on Saturday, November 13th. But if you're listening right now and you say, hold up, Saturday, November 13th, that's just a few days away. I need to make some plans. I wasn't planning on doing anything on Saturday, but I'd love to come. Well, Saturday, November 13th from 1 to 5 p.m. Central Time, our family wants to invite your family. Bring your friends, bring your church, bring a church group. This would be a great seniors activity. This would be a great teen activity. We would love to see you. Now, we're going to conclude today with this, with continuing the recollection of God's blessings, because God has blessed us in so many ways this year. A few weeks ago, our massive shipment, and really it was just a few weeks ago, a massive shipment of 10+ million gospel tracts were finally delivered, and they cleared customs in Pakistan. They're even now being distributed in that needy country. We are so incredibly thankful for the opportunity to partner with two great ministries. Of course, Fellowship Tract League and LifeGate Incorporated were partners with us in this project, and we want to thank them so much for being a part and the chance to accomplish much together with other Christians from not only across America but around the globe, to partner with people, with Christians around God's earth. It's amazing to me. The fact that the gospel transcends culture, it transcends national boundaries. It's a joy. It's really one of the greatest joys of our mission here at Bible Tracts Incorporated. I'm going to ask you to continue to pray for God to do a magnificent work in the nation of Pakistan, but also the dozens of other countries we've shipped tracts to this year. Let me leave you with a verse. 2 Samuel 22:50 says this, "Therefore I will give thanks unto thee, O Lord, among the heathen, and I will sing praises unto thy name." When was the last time you thanked God for what he's done? When was the last time you thanked God for who he is? Tomorrow on the broadcast, and maybe on Friday even, we're going to share some testimonies of what God has done through the work of Bible Tracts Incorporated, some testimonies from people like you. I'd like to ask you to tune in. If you have not yet ordered gospel tracts from us, you can go to BibleTractsInc.org, BibleTractsInc.org, and order some today. If you'd like to contact me directly, you can text me. Let me give you that number. It is 309-316-7240. Thank you for listening. Have a great day for God's glory. God bless you and yours.
Thank you for joining us today for Bible Tract Echoes, a ministry of Bible Tracts Incorporated. If you would like to receive a free sample packet of all of our tracts, you can contact us by calling 309-828-6888. That's 309-828-6888. Our mailing address is P.O. Box 188, Bloomington, Illinois, 61702. A faster way to contact us is to go to our website at BibleTractsInc.org. That's BibleTractsInc.org. There you will find more information about our ministry and details on how you can support Bible Tracts Incorporated. Thanks for listening, and may the Lord richly bless you as you serve Him.